Okay, a little more. I have to repeat this a million times because it's the core essence of it. We have to find our way back to here. My opinion, one of the easiest and fastest ways back to here is to interrupt the flow of thought for a moment and just notice the alert presence and then investigate it. Explore it experientially, not conceptually, not verbally. Our intelligence will naturally give us conceptions of it, naturally give us verbal descriptions of it, pointers toward it. But the actual experiencing of our being is silent. It's perfectly still. Boy, do we have to unwind our nervous system. All the uh, stress and trauma that we are habituated to within samsara, within the matrix, within the superimposed synthetic reality that that's so limiting and so limited in order to come back here. But we don't have to unwind all that now. What we do is we come back here, notice it, and that precipitates the unwinding of it. What happens naturally as these energies, as these patterns of organization, as the frequency band of human consciousness gets up leveled for whatever reason at this time, that's coming into our organism initially for everybody unconsciously, eventually semi-consciously, and gradually we become more and more conscious of it. But as that comes in, we turn toward it. We turn toward it to discover, what is this here that I am? Really, not my stories of me, not what people, history within the matrix has told me, not what religion has told me within the matrix, but actually right here. So we kind of immerse ourselves into our being, if only for the briefest moment, but we do it many, many times. And gradually the moments get longer. And gradually the immersion gets deeper. And gradually, who and what this is there reveals itself differently from who we've taken ourselves to be within the mind of the matrix. So what happens actually is this starts to emerge within us. Maybe we're unconscious of it even. And because this energy is the coherent energy of the self-organizing universe, it starts to cause to bubble up all the dissonances and fixated fabrications in our version of our shared synthetic field of representation. They're not frequencies specific to the band of frequencies that's emerging in our consciousness. So they're dissonant. They have to come up, and they don't come up all at once generally, but they do have to come up, and they have to be re-experienced because it's one of the ways we fixated our energy as we became ensnared in this matrix. They have to be re-experienced. It's a sense of identity, and it's a sense of that identity's version of the world. You know, each of us has, I have my happy self, my sad self. I have my scared self, and I have my angry self. And of course, it's more nuanced than that, but all of that's part of it. And each of those selves has its version of how the world is, or how they are, or how he is, or she is, or whatever it is. The polarized mind world. It's so interesting. We think it's separate, but they're two sides of the same filter. One just looks in, one looks out. And the filter determines the mind world. So the filter is, it may be unconscious, but it is conceptual. And most likely, it's represented with words in our psyche. So, stepping out of that for a moment, which is all we can do at first anyway, and coming into this. It gives our whole system an opportunity to recalibrate back into a much more universally natural setting. There's a lot of support in the universe for this self-organized, harmonious being that we naturally, all of us, are. There's right now, there's like, I don't know how much time I have here. Let me see. Yeah, good. I have a minute. Right now, it's like there are two vision versions of humanity's future as a species of consciousness. One is the one that's kind of along the lines of where we've been and where we appear to be heading. There, as a whole, there's been a superimposed, dominating, controlling cluster of individuals who have shaped where human consciousness is and where it's going. Divisions, polarizations, profiting from warfare, profiting from drugs, profiting from inhuman things that are done with people. Us, all of us. There's not a single one of us that's not traumatized, because trauma is a multi-generational thing, and all of our peoples have been traumatized. So our nervous systems are dysregulated. and our psyches are ensnared within that whole thing. It's complex. There's a lot to unravel. And it helps to have skills. It helps to have good skills for somatically and conceptually, mentally, relationally extracting the effects of stress and trauma from our nervous system, psyche, relational field, so that we can find ourselves back here more of our time, find our efforts to get back here more successful more of the time. And gradually, what gets freed up from releasing ourselves out of these imagistic identifications of ourselves and the world is all of our life energy that was invested in it, all of our life energy that kept it going. As that comes back to here, we're more here. We're more connected with our source, our actual source. It's not like it's separate from the source, but it's our connection with it. It's right here, but we have to be here to tap it. Well, it's like when we be here, that opens a channel of the source into our consciousness. It's like we're tuning our consciousness, our attention to our source connection. Silent, still, wide open, just here, right now. When we think of the enormous challenges and problems of our world, this doesn't seem like much of a solution. And yet it is the solution because its silence, its openness, its presence is the expression, the embodiment of our universal intelligence. Our universal intelligence is not our intellect. Our intellect is abstracted, disconnected, and ill-conceived, and it's noisy. Our universal intelligence is silent. Until it isn't. And then it's not always expressing in words, it might be, but it's more expressing in being. How I be who I am in this moment with you. It's not preconceived. It's not fixed in my head. Of course, believe me, that's part of who I am. I have no interest in being somebody's guru. I'm just on the path like the rest of us. And I have moments and periods and have had days and months and years of just being caught up in my versions of this. Little by little over time, by coming back to here many, 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 many times and doing my work to the best of my knowledge, capacity, and skills with, talk therapy, emotional release therapy, somatic therapies, psychedelic therapies, doing everything I could to recalibrate my organism to where I could get to here and hang out here for a bit longer moments. That's helped. That's helped. I guess that's it for now. Thank you.